Well, hello, everybody. It is all of a sudden Labor Day weekend coming up in just a few days. And just like that, summer has flown by again, right? Hope you've had just a fantastic summer. Hope you look forward to the 2 weeks of fall we get before winter, right? No, it is a special time, though, and we look forward to that smell in the air of leaves and other things. Just it's an amazing time, fall is. This last weekend, we had a special day here on Sunday where we had the picnic and started that off with the baptism of, I think, 7 people that we had that day. And what a great experience that was after worshiping together here in the morning, and some of you watching online. But the baptism was just a special time. The fellowship that happened afterwards at the picnic was just awesome. And so thanks to those of you who are able to make it and just interact a little bit. Today, I just want to follow up just a little bit about what we talked about. Again, we talked about Psalm 91 on Sunday, and that was looking at this idea of finding calm in the middle of today's chaos. And I laid out all the different areas that you could say there's chaos in the world right now. And I don't have to unpack all of those again. You know it. Your world is chaotic so often. The things going on outside your home, sometimes the things going on inside your home, inside your work, all of that. And how do we find calm? And we pointed to, out of Psalm 91, this idea that God offers us to be our shelter, to live in His shadow, that gives us comfort in the midst of chaos, calm as well. This idea of Him protecting us as well. He describes Himself as His faithfulness is described as a shield and as a rampart. We talked about that on Sunday. But then the rub, so to speak, with this is God is all of that and offers all of that. Will we decide to take Him up on that offer? Will we actually move from just hearing something on a Sunday morning, like we do? That's the routine, right? We get fed, we wrestle with God's Word, but then how does it get lived out? How does it change our everyday life? And so we've all had to come through this now, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whenever you're seeing this. Sunday's a few days ago. So maybe you've fallen back into some old habits of getting stressed, about feeling the anxiety of all those things going on. You've misplaced that thought that we brought you to on Sunday, that God's Word reminded you of, and that is His faithfulness continues. Will you choose to follow Him? So I want to take you to another psalm here for just a minute or two, and that is Psalm 130. My plan was to incorporate some of this into the sermon, and we just got going and didn't get there. But it's a very similar mindset, I think. And so I'm just going to read Psalm 130. It's 8 verses, and we'll talk just a little bit about a couple of the verses. So here's what it says. Out of the depths I cry to you, Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let your ears be attentive to my cry for mercy. If you, Lord, kept a record of sins, Lord, who could stand? But with you there is forgiveness, so that we can, with reverence, serve you. And here's the part I want you to really dive into. I will wait for the Lord. My whole being waits, and in His word I put my hope. I will wait for the Lord, more than the watchmen wait for the morning. It repeats it, more than the watchmen wait for the morning. Israel, put your hope in the Lord, for with the Lord is unfailing love, and with Him is full redemption. He Himself will redeem Israel from all their sins. Great psalm there again, but just a few things, as I mentioned, that I want to hang on to. This idea of God offering calm in the midst of chaos, but sometimes we have to wait. We talked Sunday, didn't we, about Him working in the good in all things for those who love Him and who are called according to His purpose. Here again, we're reminded that sometimes we do need to simply wait. We need to wait on the Lord. And He gives this great example. While none of us, I bet, have had a job as a watchman, as a security guard whose job is to keep everybody in town or in this building safe, during the nighttime, we get the picture, right? Nighttime, if you're waiting for morning, can be pretty long. As the watchman waits for morning, so I will wait for the Lord. I long for the result that He will bring. That's what I hope for, and it's going to sometimes be difficult. But here He tells us, He reminds us to wait, because the Lord will work. He promises in His Word that He will work. He talks about that there in the verse, that we can trust Him. We can wait for Him. We can wait with Him for our whole being, because in His Word we find hope. In His Word, right? In the written Word that we hear, but also in the words of the Word are we reminded that He's faithful, that He'll be there, that He's worth waiting for. And then in verses 7 and 8, I'm going to finish here, he talks about Israel. Now, the psalmist lived in a time when Israel was who we were of his thought. And today I'd say we could say the same thing, and that's what makes it from not just a Randy Quade or fill in the blank with your own name approach, but that we all collectively sometimes wait on the Lord to work. This, in the middle of a pandemic, we as believers wait because we know that He's worth waiting for, that His Word reminds us that. And so there is this collective piece to being a follower of God. We're not in it alone. We wait together. It's a good thought. And why? Because again, which we hear throughout the Psalms, because God has unfailing love. He is undefeated in keeping His promises. His love is unfailing. And then he uses the term, and with Him is full redemption. Not just partial redemption, not just forgiveness for 1 or 2 or 10 things that we've done wrong, not just figuring out the details of 1 or 2 or 5 things that are happening, but full redemption is what Jesus offers. Again, what will you choose to do with this? How will you choose to live your life based on the promises of God? In the midst of chaos, will you look to Him and trust Him because He is a man of His Word? He is a God of His Word. Trust Him today and continue to find calm in Him in the midst of chaos. Love you guys. We'll see you again Sunday or next week.